Hello and welcome to TTVNEWS broadcasting on TayNinhTV newspaper and radio television with some latest events in TayNinhTV province. Ladies and gentlemen, on July 20th, a delegation led by members of the Party Central Committee and Deputy Prime Minister Mai Văn-Chính visited and presented gifts to policy beneficiary families and individuals with meritorious service in total and mid-time communes in commemoration of the 78th anniversary of War in Veterans and Martyrs Day, July 27, 1947, July 27, 2025.
The delegation was accompanied by Mr. Nguyễn Thanh Hải, Deputy Secretary Provincial Party Committee and Chairman of Vietnam Thailand Front Committee of the province, and Mr. Phạm Tấn Hòa, Vice Chairman of Provincial People's Committee. At Mỹ Thành Commune, the delegation visited and gave gifts to Vietnamese Eric mother Trần Thị Mười in Hamlet 4, their husbands and sons are martyrs, and the families of martyrs Phạm Văn Vinh in Vam Kinh Hamlet. At Thủ Thừa Commune, the delegation visited and presented the gifts to the families of martyrs Huỳnh Thị Tỏ, wounded soldiers Đặng Ngọc Toàn, and the sick soldier Phan Văn Khải on residing in Hamlet 5. At its stop, the Deputy Prime Minister Mai Văn-Chính expressed his warm regards for the health and the well-being of the families. He conveyed the gratitude for the sacrifice and significant contributions made by the wounded soldiers, martyrs, and the individuals with the meritorious service to their revolutionary cause. He encouraged the families to continue upholding their revolutionary spirit, maintaining patriotism, and serving as exemplary models for the younger generations. The Deputy Prime Minister also called on the local authorities to enhance the care and support for those who have rendered meritorious service and through comfort and meaningful actions, honoring their great contribution to the nation's independence and freedom. On this occasion, the delegation also visited and gave gifts to the former chairman of Provincial People's Committee, Dương Quốc Xuân. The Deputy Prime Minister Mai Văn-Chính extended the best wishes for his health and hoped that Mr. Dương Quốc Xuân would continue to show the interest and follow development and offer valuable support and contributions to the province leadership and governance in the future.
On the afternoon of July 20th, the Standing Committee of TayNinhTV Provincial Youth Union held the closing ceremony of the Volunteer and Cultural Exchange Program between youth from Gyeongsang Province, South Korea, and TayNinhTV Province, Vietnam. The event attended by Ms. Yu as the Deputy Director of Youth Affairs Social Service Institute of Gyeongsang Province, South Korea, Mr. Đoàn Trung Kiên, Standing Committee Member of the Provincial Party Committee, Standing Member of the Provincial Party Committee and Vice Chairman of TayNinhTV Provincial People's Committee, and Mr. Phạm Văn Hậu, Deputy Secretary of TayNinhTV Provincial Youth Union. The program co-organized by TayNinhTV Provincial Youth Union and the Social Service Institute of Gyeongsang and the Social Service Institute of Gyeongsang Province took place from July 15 to July 20th in TayNinhTV. Over 6 days of vibrant activities, many meaningful projects were carried out by students from both provinces, such as building friendship benches, creating a friendship flower garden, planting commemorative trees, and experiencing the making of traditional Vietnamese fresh cakes. In addition, the delegation visited the historic site of Vam Nhiệt Tảo and took part in cultural and culinary exchange activities between the two countries. At the closing ceremony, TayNinhTV Provincial Youth Union presented certificates of completion for the 2025 Volunteer and Cultural Exchange Program to participating students from both provinces. Ladies and gentlemen, in recent days, the Cultural Exchange Volunteer Program between youth from TayNinhTV Province, Vietnam, and Gyeongsang Province, South Korea, has featured many meaningful experiential activities across local communities. Especially notable were the experiences of daily living and cooking with students' families in Nhiệt Tảo and Tân Châu communes.
Here, the young participants had the chance to cook traditional dishes together and enjoy a warm family meal as if they were true members of the Vietnamese household. This is my first time in Vietnam and taking part in this program. I never imagined I would one day sit in a Vietnamese family's kitchen, cooking and chatting like the close relatives, and it is an experience I will never forget. And this was not just an opportunity for youth from both countries to learn about each other's culinary cultures, it also fostered the communication and the sharing of lifestyle and study habits and strengthened mutual understanding and friendship also. This year's program includes various activities like decorating classrooms, building a friendship flower garden, and planting trees to protect the environment. And these activities allow the participants to engage, interact, and learn from each other, and helping them to better understand each other's culture. And in the future, the Provincial Youth Union will continue coordinating to organize more activities like this. And with the lively and practical chances, careful preparation, and the enthusiastic, dynamic, and creative spirit of the youth from TayNinhTV and Chungcheongnam provinces, the program left a deep and lasting impression, laying a strong foundation for long-term cooperation and friendship.
Turn to the news. The audience in order to promptly grasp the legitimate thoughts and aspirations of the people. Right after the night session of the 15th National Assembly, TayNinhTV Provincial Delegation of National Assembly deputies organized multiple voter meetings across localities. Accordingly, the delegation completed its regular voter contest routes in 9 communes and wards throughout the province, attracting nearly 1,700 participants. At each meeting, the deputies shared and provided detailed information on key issues discussed during the night session, along with updates on the country's socio-economic situation. Beyond listening and addressing matters within their responsibilities, the deputies also clarified a number of issues that drew particular concern from voters. Especially notable was the presence of representatives from specialized departments and local authorities who directly responded to specific petitions at the meetings, demonstrating a constructive and responsible attitude. Following the meetings, the National Assembly delegation recorded a total of 48 recommendations and reflections from more than 27 groups of voters. These opinions cover various important areas, including 10 measures under local jurisdiction and 18 under central government authority.
According to Plan Number 2 issued by the Central Standing Committee for the Development of Science, Technology, Innovation and Digital Transformation, the goal is that by 2026 at least 95% of citizens and businesses will report satisfaction with their use of online public services. And to achieve this goal, several concrete targets have been set specifically in terms of quantity, and the government will continue to maintain and effectively provide for 25 end-to-end online public services already integrated into the National Public Service Portal and serving both citizens and businesses. In addition, 982 online public services will be deployed with the requirement that each service generates an average of at least 1,000 records per year per province, and notably 100% administrative procedure results will be delivered in electronic forms to ensure the reusability of information and data, except for procedures with a low frequency or those in the specialized sectors. And one of the key tasks is to complete the restructuring of 1% of administrative procedures and to develop and provide end-to-end online public services at the provincial and commune levels using a centralized model integrated into the National Public Service Portal. And by 2026, on eligible administrative procedures will be provided fully or partially online in a standardized, synchronized manner nationwide. Additionally, the processing time for online applications is expected to be reduced by at least 30% compared to in-person submission.
Regarding the continuation of the public investment capital plan in the province, the Provincial Bills Committee has recently issued specific directives based on the proposal of the Department of Finance to ensure smooth and effective implementation of projects. Accordingly, for projects previously approved by former district-level authorities, the Provincial Bills Committee will now assume the responsibilities, authority, and decision-making power related to investment policy and approval. This applies to projects that were managed by former district-level project management boards, which have since been reorganized into regional management board under the authority of provincial-level project management units. For projects that had been assigned to former commune-level People's Committees. As investors, the current Committee-level People's Committees will continue to carry out their duties, responsibilities, and authority regarding public investment at this time. In particular, for the adjustment of the medium-term and annual public investment plans, the Provincial People's Committee has assigned the Department of Finance to take the lead in coordinating with relevant agencies to review and advise the Provincial People's Council. Based on that, the Provincial People's Committee will be authorized to make decisions on adjustments. This approach aims to ensure flexibility and alignment with development goals and the local financial capacity during the implementation of the two-level local government model.
Dear audience, alongside officers and soldiers of the People's Police nationwide for the past 63 years, the People's Police Force of TayNinhTV Province has consistently dedicated and silently sacrificed to protect the peace of the nation and the happiness of the people. On the occasion of the anniversary of the traditional day of the People's Police Force, July 20, 1962, July 20, 2025, we bring you stories of exemplary officers from TayNinhTV Province.
With nearly 370 kilometers of border, TayNinhTV is always at the front line of the transnational rock war. Among many contributing forces, Lieutenant Colonel Ngô Hồng Khanh, Deputy Head of the Program Investigation Department, stands out as a model in the fight against the white state. With more than 30 years of service, spending nearly 2/3 of his career directly battling program, he and his unit have dismantled hundreds of cases, from local incidents to transnational operations, helping to clean up the area. As a result, he has continuously been awarded various honors, most recently being nominated by the Provincial Police Department for the second-class victory medal from the Ministry of Public Security. My team and I closely track suspects, coordinated smoothly, and supported each other in completing our mission. As a result, during this operation, we arrested 8 individuals and saved over 60 kilograms of drugs. In both his role as commander and later as leader, he always led by example. He worked with the party committee and unit leadership to uncover, plan, and take down major investigative cases, arresting many dangerous suspects, some of whom were armed with military-grade weapons. Continuing the glorious tradition of intelligence, bravery for the country, for the people, selfless service of the People's Police, Major Nguyễn Thanh Hoa, head of the crime prevention team Tân An World Police, has spent nearly 20 years devoted to the safety of his community. Crime prevention work has its challenges, especially since many criminals use cunning tactics to evade police. Sometimes our criminals are extremely dangerous, such as drug traffickers or those who intentionally cause public disorder. These individuals are often highly aggressive. Throughout his assigned duties from the former city police to the newly established Tân An World Police, Officer Hoa has always been active and dedicated. He never hesitates to face difficulties to fulfill his duties, especially in crime prevention. For over 60 years, from intelligence commanders like Lieutenant Colonel Khanh to dedicated grassroots officers like Major Hoa, the People's Police of TayNinhTV have zealously contributed to maintaining local peace and upholding the proud legacy of the Vietnamese People's Police Force.
In recent times, TayNinhTV Province has been actively implementing many practical agricultural extension models, helping farmers access new techniques and improve the economic efficiency. In the first 6 months of 2025, the Provincial Center for Agricultural Extension and Agricultural Services deployed several production models tailored to the specific conditions of each locality. In the winter-spring crop of 2024 and 2025 in Vĩnh Công Commune, more than 36 rice varieties were tested and propagated, yielding over 100 tons on an area of more than 18 hectares. Meanwhile, Tân Thành District, formerly Long An Province, the yield of rice varieties remains stable at over 6.3 tons per hectare, ensuring the quantity and sustainability for real-world production. In the livestock and aquaculture sector, positive results were also recorded with the snakehead fish farming model in Binh Lức and Đức Huệ districts, the Phom Long An province, and bringing a profit from 15 to over 16 million dong per model. In addition, the several production models following GAP and organic standards have been implemented on the lemon trees, leafy vegetables, and cassava and medicinal plants, contributing to increasing the value of local agricultural products. And the flexibility and practicability of these models are helping today's agricultural sector improve the quality, efficiency, and income for the people, especially the farmers. According to TayNinhTV Provincial Department of Agriculture and Environment, the province's high-tech agriculture development program linked with agricultural sector restructuring has also far largely met the planned targets and delivering many positive outcomes for local residents. Notably, the province has implemented nearly 64,000 hectares of high-tech rice cultivation, reaching 106% of the target set for the 2016 to 2025 period. And for the 2021 to 2025 phase, high-tech vegetable cultivation reached nearly 2,150 hectares, fulfilling for 107 per the plan. High-tech dragon fruit cultivation converted almost about 5,850 hectares, achieving for 97.5% of the target. The high-tech lime production exceeded expectations with over 4,000 hectares and reaching for 137% of the plan. In addition, high-tech shrimp farming converted nearly 99 hectares and meeting almost 99% of the target, with over 2,000 households expanding the model across more than 1,100 hectares. It can be affirmed that the high-tech agriculture development program in combination with agricultural restructuring has marked a major turning point in transforming the farmers' production mindset, gradually improving the quality and brand value of the products and promoting the rapid and sustainable development of the local agricultural sector.
The 2025 National Rural and Agricultural Census is entering its peak phase nationwide. In provincial authorities, sectors, and statistical forces are speeding up to complete their census, ensuring quality and progress according to the plan. Following the central directives, since July 1, 2025, TayNinhTV Province has simultaneously launched the 2025 Rural and Agricultural Census. In this census, TayNinhTV collects information from nearly 396,000 households engaged in agriculture, forestry, and fisheries. As of July 18, 2025, the province census progress has reached over 58%. With a strong sense of responsibility from all levels and tight coordination from localities, TayNinhTV is determined to ensure census progress is completed by July 30, 2025, fully finishing the data collection as required.
Ladies and gentlemen, with the implementation of the two-level local government model, the commune-level federal ranch in TayNinhTV has swiftly consolidated its organization, actively encourage people to engage in productive labor and creativity, contributing to economic and social development, maintaining national defense and security, and fostering strong community consensus.
Since the policy of unification was introduced, federal ranch officials from the commune level to residential clusters have quickly grasped the thoughts, aspirations, and especially the difficulties and obstacles that citizens face in production and business. I hope the commune will create favorable conditions for me, just as loans, to expand employment opportunities and produce higher quality products for export. Not just stopping at communication and mobilization, grassroots level federal ranch organizations now take the initiative in identifying effective economic models, organizing training sessions for the transfer of scientific and technical knowledge, and more importantly, enabling people to connect with each other and form sustainable production value chains. Currently, the federal ranch is guiding social political organizations to study and survey their local areas so that they can set their activities in line with policies that promote cooperation and create market access for local products.
With its increasingly affirmed role, the Russian Fatherland Front TayNinhTV is demonstrating clear effectiveness after the unification. The streamlining of the organizational structure, its close connection to localities, and its proactive support for citizens in production and economic development have helped the Fatherland Front become a solid bridge between the party, the government, and the people.
And today TTV News wraps up now. Thank you for your attention and see you in the next program.